all of these teams are playing one another in week 1 too. So a really good chance to look at this division. It is my personal favorite division because of the Dallas Cowboys. And that, of course, is where we are starting. Guys, I feel like I have been teetering the line between rational and delusional for like the last 3 months, because emotionally as a Cowboys fan, we know what we all say at the beginning of the season: this is our year.
Yep.
I try to push that away, but everybody here at HQ is telling me that this is the year to be all in on the Cowboys. So that being said, Ryan, what else needs to get fixed if we are in fact going to be back in the Super Bowl?
I'm one of those people who isn't a Cowboys fan who feels like the Cowboys are making that move. And by the way, if this is rational, this is delusional, Haley's over here. Let's be real. She's drinking the Jerry Jones Kool-Aid.
I'm sipping it.
But it feels different. Does it feel different as a Cowboys fan?
I will say it does feel different. All of the reports I've seen out of training camp as well,
Right.
the mentality feels different. The players have a little bit more energy, so it does.
So the defense is usually where we start the conversation because we know Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, but I'm going to go with the offensive line, especially the offensive tackles. Terrence Steele has been a mainstay, but Brian Schottenheimer called him out the other day, the right tackle, him needing to play better. And then Tyler Guyton, the former first-round pick, has been inconsistent and not played up to the level of a former first-round pick. And if you don't have your tackles, nothing else really matters if you have all the skill position players on point. So that's my concern. I actually feel a little bit better about the defense, which is a crazy thing to say, than I do about the tackles right now.
And it's funny you mentioned the defense, because my question is this defense good enough for Dallas to make a deep playoff run? They've made all of the necessary moves that you need to make in order for them to play better on defense. You trade for Rashawn Gary. You trade for D. Winters. You sign Von Miller. You drafted really well. You have Malachi Lawrence. You get Jayshon Barham. And there are playmakers all over this team. And I forgot to name my son. Caleb Downs Carthon. You take him in the first round. So to have all of these people, to me, this defense should be good enough, right? Because we know this offense can score points in bunches, whether Dak is being protected at a high level or not. But this defense has to come up with the necessary stops, especially with the schedule that they have to play in order for them to win these football games. And I want to tell you, Haley,
tell me,
in terms of saying every year is the Cowboys' year, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Can I get that on a T-shirt? Can you put that on a T-shirt and then put like the star in 2026?
There you have. Hey Jerry, if you make that a T-shirt, just give your boy his cut. That's all. Just a little bit.
It's better than getting a tattoo of that.
I know. Yeah. No tattoos. I have no Cowboys tattoos on my body as someone who has tattoos, so I'm not that delusional. Okay, so we go from my favorite team to our arch nemesis, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. It has been a tumultuous offseason. I know what people are saying about Jalen Hurts, but this is still a Super Bowl winner, so there's a lot of talent on this team, Rand. You kind of feel like, though, this, similar to the vein of the Cowboys, is this our year? Kind of the same for Philly, Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, to me, it's just that simple. Is this Super Bowl or bust? Because this offseason, they're going to have some really tough questions that they're going to have to answer, particularly with Jalen Hurts. Are you going to continue to move forward with him as your starting quarterback? Potentially Lane Johnson is going to be leaving to retirement. We'll see where other guys on this roster are. The way Philly has built this team, they build their team every year to compete for the championship. Now I'm wondering, at what point are you going to go into rebuild mode? And is this the closing of the window? I feel like every year in the middle of the season, people are calling for Nick Sirianni's job.
Always.
Right? And so is this an opportunity for them to finally move on? You see here on the graphic a brand new coordinator in Sean Mannion. It wasn't too long ago that Sean Mannion was fielding snaps as a backup quarterback in the league, and now he's calling plays, and he's still working through whether he's going to be on the field or up in the box. He's kind of experimenting right now. But does Philly have enough to win a championship, and this is going to be championship or bust, where they finally have to reset?
And you know what I love? A Cowboys fan saying the Eagles are tumultuous.
It has been tumultuous.
That's the kind of tumult I want if I'm a fan, because they got it pretty good. You know, who's got it better than us? You're not wrong. Like there's a reason they moved on from Kevin Patullo. I will say we saw that graphic of the offensive coordinators. Every other year, the coordinator crushes it. So this is the good year for Sean Mannion if he can put it together. I'm going to go on the other side of the ball. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, is one of the best at what he does. We know about the interior of that defensive line. We know about how good the secondary is. But I'm worried about Jonathan Grenard's health, because he's not healthy. And then who is going to pick up the slack after him? They have Jalix Hunt, they have Nolan Smith, they got A.J. Epinesa in free agency, Arnold Ebiketie as well. So they got to figure out that rotation if Jonathan Grenard isn't ready to go. I mean, the interior defensive lineman can do all the heavy lifting, but at some point you want to be able to get after it off the edge. But Haley, these are what we call rich people problems.
Yes, rich people problems. And look, tumultuous, I feel like, was the most polite an appropriate way that I could describe your rival. I mean, what nice things do you say about your rival?
Oh, yeah. As a Steelers fan, the Ravens are consistently tumultuous. 100%. That's right.
They are tumultuous. The Eagles are going to open the season against the Commanders.
Cowboys Nation, this might be the moment where the conversation finally changes. Because every year, Dallas fans hear the same thing. This is the year. Believe again. Get excited again. Buy in again. But this time, something is different. And the most important part is that it is not just Cowboys fans saying it. People outside Dallas are starting to feel it too. One analyst flat out said he is not a Cowboys fan, but he believes this team is making that move. That matters. Because hype from inside the building is easy. Hype from the fan base is expected. But when people who do not live and die with the star start saying, it feels different, now you have something worth watching. And look at why. Dak Prescott is still the engine. CeeDee Lamb is still one of the most dangerous weapons in football. George Pickens gives this offense another problem defenses have to solve. The firepower is obvious. The only real concern they brought up was offensive tackle. Terrence Steele needs to be better. Tyler Guyton needs consistency. And yes, that matters, because if you cannot protect Dak, all those weapons become harder to unleash. But here's where this story gets serious. For maybe the first time in a while, the defense is not the part making everybody nervous. The panel literally said Dallas has made the necessary moves. Think about that. Rashawn Gary, Von Miller, Malachi Lawrence, John Barham, Caleb Downs, playmakers everywhere. And the question was not whether this defense is hopeless. The question was whether this defense is good enough for a deep playoff run. That is a completely different conversation. And the answer sounded pretty clear. It should be. Because Dallas does not need this defense to carry the entire team. The offense can score points in bunches. That's what they said. And if you already know DAK, CEEDEE, and PICKENS can put pressure on a scoreboard, then all this defense has to do is create enough stops to change games. One drive, one takeaway, one fourth down stand, one sack at the right moment. That's how contenders are built. And then the conversation shifted to Philadelphia. That's where things get even more interesting. Because while Dallas is being talked about like a team that feels different, the Eagles are dealing with questions of their own. A new offensive coordinator, questions about how long the current championship window stays open, questions on the edge defensively, questions about how much longer some core pieces are going to be there. Nobody is saying Philadelphia suddenly became weak. That would be ridiculous. But they're not untouchable either. And that's the opening Dallas needs. This is not about asking the Cowboys to become perfect overnight. It's about becoming more complete than they were, better coached, deeper, more physical, more dangerous in the moments that decide games. And that's why this season feels different. Dallas is not walking into the year with one obvious strength and one glaring weakness. They have weapons on offense. They have legitimate defensive talent. They have veterans. They have youth. They have players who can change games. Now the pressure shifts to execution. And maybe that's exactly where you want it. Because if Dak gets protection, this offense can explode. If the defense plays up to the talent that was added, this team can stay in every major game on the schedule. And if Philadelphia gives Dallas even the smallest opening, Cowboys Nation, that's when this division gets very interesting. For once, all in doesn't sound like a slogan. It sounds like a roster. It sounds like a defense that finally has answers. It sounds like an offense that already knows how to score. And it sounds like people outside Dallas are starting to see what Cowboys fans have been waiting to see. This team feels different. Now they have to prove why. Drop your thoughts below, hit like and subscribe. Is this finally the Cowboys team that turns all that talent into a deep playoff run?